What's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is episode number 10. We are finally into the double digits. It's kind of hard to believe because before I kind of started this back up, it felt like we'd never get there. But this episode is going to kind of be all over the place. I feel like I'll only have like one or two topics to talk about, and like one of them isn't even really politics related. So, I mentioned before I kind of wanted to do like this type of thing where, obviously I talk about like the news and stuff going on, but I also want to talk about like just random shit that's going on, like not even politics related, like stuff that I like to talk about and stuff that other people like find interesting, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, this week was a lot slower than the previous weeks. The big two things out of this week were the Afghanistan withdrawal is over with. They're not supposedly everyone, all the military are out, but, there's been reports that there's still American citizens there, which, honestly, I kind of figured that was going to happen. The official date that they were supposed to finish the withdrawal by was August 31st, and technically they did, quote unquote, finish the withdrawal by then. They just didn't withdraw, and they quit the withdrawal after that. But there's still American citizens there. So, that was kind of to be expected, I feel like, and it doesn't seem like Biden's going to do anything in the future about citizens that are still, American citizens that are still in Afghanistan. So, that's unfortunate. I said it before on the previous shows when we talked about Afghanistan when it was really at its peak, that the main priority, 100% the main priority, has to be getting all U.S. citizens out, and either that wasn't enough of a priority when it should have been, or it was just didn't happen that they got them out. I mean, that doesn't really justify it, but that appears to be what has happened. So it's unfortunate, but the whole Afghanistan withdrawal situation, it appears to be over, and that has been, August 31st was what, like Monday? It was earlier this week, so it was like the day that the previous show was uploaded, so that's kind of been a few days in the past. And then also this week, the biggest news was the hurricane that hit Louisiana, and there was a lot of destruction and flooding, and that's to be expected when you get a relatively high powered hurricane, especially with the flooding. Like, if you guys don't know, if you're not from the area or you just don't know, like New Orleans and like that surrounding area of like southern Louisiana, it's very low, like to sea level. I'm pretty sure it's like even below sea level, so it's really easy, even with like the levees and stuff, it's really easy for that area to flood. So with this hurricane, there's a lot of flooding and a lot of people even still without power. So, I know that it's very hot down there, like really hot and humid, even this time of year. It's September now, but still, like, it gets hot. So a lot of people are either kind of displaced or just kind of trying to make do with what they have, with no electricity and low gas and low food and low water and everything. So if you're from that area or you know someone from that area, we're thinking of you or them, both. But and then also something I found interesting was, as the hurricane moved up, it went up through like Alabama and Tennessee and like like kind of like up northeast. It ended up even hitting over by my house, but it wasn't too bad. Like, it was just rainy and stuff. But New Jersey had a lot of flooding, which is kind of weird because I feel like by then, the hurricane would have died out because it went from all the way from Louisiana to New Jersey. Like, it would have been different if hurricane came up the Atlantic side and, then it would have had more power and steam. But it went all the way from Louisiana to New Jersey. Anyways, there was flooding there in New Jersey and New York, and I think I saw something like 25 or so people died, whether it was from, I guess, flooding. I don't really know what the cause was, but 25 people in New Jersey when the hurricane hit in Louisiana and went over all that land up there. That's crazy. I guess it was a lot more powerful than maybe I thought. Because like I said, it did pass by my house. Like the path of the hurricane went over by where I live. So like, I think it was maybe Tuesday. It rained pretty much the whole day, but it wasn't like the roads or anything were flooded. Like in New Jersey, like it was. Like, there are pictures online, they're like baseball fields and roads that were just completely submerged in water, and like it wasn't anywhere near like that here, but that's kind of unfortunate. I was surprised to see that, considering it was all the way from Louisiana to like over all that land. You would think that it would kind of weaken out enough to where it was just just some rain and it wouldn't be a huge thing, but I was kind of surprised to see that when I saw that on the news briefly, probably Wednesday or Thursday. I'm trying to really think about if there was any other like big time news that happened this week. I mean, well, today it just came out. There was apparently a helicopter crash, like a Navy helicopter crash over the coast in California, and five service people in the Navy, I believe it was. If I'm wrong, like, let me know. I could be wrong, because like this just happened and I just saw the article, and but I believe they were all from the Navy. There was 5 individuals that passed away in a helicopter crash over by California. So we're thinking of them. That just came out today. So like, again, I don't really know what the cause was or what happened, but I really just saw the headline and figured I'd mention it because that's something that went on today. Also, the 6-week abortion ban in Texas has been going on this week, or been talked about. I don't know when they actually like passed the law. I don't know if it was this week or if it was actually earlier, but they just started talking about it this week. But anyways, that's been going on this week. I'm not going to go too far into that and like everything surrounding that. Like, it's the same thing every time when something like this happens with abortion. But I think I've said this before on other shows or like on my Instagram or something, but I believe abortion's more of like it's not something that can be fixed by law. It's still going to happen. People are still going to do it. Whether that's right or wrong is another story. But that's one of those things that can't be fixed or legislated through law. It's got to be done morally. Like, you got to change the morals for something actually to get done with that, because until you do that, the laws, like making laws about it, won't have any positive impact on abortion. It's got to be done morally, if that makes sense. So, I mean, that's really all I'm going to say about that. There's really not a whole lot more to say. It's just the same thing with pro-choice and pro-life people arguing about it. It's been like that for 50 years. Like, again, passing laws and changing laws isn't going to affect anything. It's got to be something that gets changed through, like, morality. Other than that, the other thing that's going on is college football started this weekend. And I see a lot of people like posting the memes about like how the stadiums are filled up and all that, and then like your kids have to wear a mask at school, which, by the way, it doesn't make any sense. Also, because the same people that are at these college games, the college students at these games, packed in the bleachers, are like, some of them are forced to wear masks on campus when they're not packed in like that. Yet when they go to the football games, they can kind of do whatever they want. It doesn't make any sense. And I know it's the same way with high school, at least where I live. Like, I'm not in high school anymore, but like, I see stuff online because I know a few people that are still in high school, because I'm young enough to, like, I didn't graduate high school that long ago, so like I still know a couple people in high school, or people that are friends with people still in high school. But like for the football games, they pack in on the bleachers and stuff, and no one has a mask on. But like, yet when they're in school, they have to wear a mask. So, it doesn't make any sense. But anyways, the college football games, that's a huge meme, and, you know, college football is a big deal where I live because it's SEC country. But, you know, I see one of the major memes is like the picture of the bleachers at the Virginia Tech game. And it's like, if you haven't seen it already, like, the stadium, like, you know how stadiums are laid out, like, it's all the way up. There are people, every single seat, it's packed. Like, no one has a mask on, jumping around and screaming and stuff. It's crazy. It's almost like everything's back to normal. And that game happened on a Friday, because I remember I was watching TV and it came on. I don't really care about Virginia Tech or North Carolina, that's who they were playing, but I like football, so it was on TV and I was getting ready to leave, but I saw the very, very beginning of it, and they showed that shot of the stadium in the beginning before Virginia Tech did their kind of run out on the field, because they do like a run out to Enter Sandman by Metallica. It's kind of a big deal. It's like their tradition. But anyways, they showed the stands before the game, and it's that shot from the meme of just filled up. And I remember seeing it, and I was like, oh, they're not going to like that. They are not going to like that. And of course, there's idiots on Twitter like, don't you know that COVID, blah, 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 blah. Like, if you look at this picture, do you realize that no one there cares? No one cares. And there's a reason why that is. But it wasn't just like that at Virginia Tech, but that was like the big one because of just how filled up the stadium was, and it was like the first game where they like kind of showed the crowd and stuff like to that magnitude since COVID had happened. So they definitely had a fit over that, but I thought it was pretty cool to see. I remember it was crazy because it was, if you haven't seen the picture, like, you know, in COVID times, it looks crazy because there's just so many people there, but, like, in normal times, like, that's normal. That's normal college football at this time of year, so. But, like, it feels, you know, you get what I'm saying, like, it feels weird now to see that, and it's kind of sad that that's the way it is. But, anyways, like I said, I like football, and Saturdays are usually the big days for the bigger games. You know, for those of you guys that don't know, I'm a Georgia fan. So this weekend they had a big one, probably the biggest game of the weekend for sure. Number 3 versus number 5. Georgia played Clemson. Georgia won the game, so I was very happy. It was like the score was 10-3, so you know there wasn't, and like the only touchdown that Georgia scored was on defense. So both defenses played well. Georgia's defense was very good. I think they had like 7 or 8 sacks, which is for like a football game, that's a lot, especially college. They looked really good, so I was very impressed. I think this year we could be really good. If Georgia doesn't make it to the SEC championship, I'm gonna be disappointed because I don't think Florida's better. I think Florida's probably the Georgia and Florida are probably the best teams in the East. I don't really know how good Tennessee is. Vanderbilt sucks. South Carolina isn't that good, I don't think. There's no teams in the Eastern Division. Like, there's 2 divisions. And Alabama's in the other division. But there's no teams in the East that I think are better than Georgia is. The only team would maybe be Florida, and I don't think their defense... Again, I haven't seen them play this year. But I don't think Florida's as good as Georgia is. But so if they don't make it to the championship, SEC championship, I'll be very disappointed based on what I saw last night, because the offense will pick up. Like, Clemson's defense is good, so we got like a solid quarterback. We're missing receivers. We didn't even have our best receivers last night. They were hurt. So there's that, and the defense looked really good. So it's going to be a fun year, I think, for Georgia football. There's a few Georgia fans that follow me because whenever I rarely post stuff about it on, like, my story, they'll slide up and be, like, you know, in support of it. But, you know, I'm sure a lot of you guys are Florida or Alabama or Auburn or, you know, whoever fans, or maybe some other team. Ohio State maybe is a big one. Michigan. I don't know. Who else is another, like, football team? Oklahoma maybe. Miami. I don't know. You know, Clemson. But yeah, like, this year should be a good year for Georgia football. So I'm excited about that because my NFL team, which starts next week, is the Atlanta Falcons, and they suck. So maybe college will pick up for the slack on the NFL side. Like, I know we got Kyle Pitts, but I don't feel like, if we make the playoffs this year, I'll be shocked. Let's just put it that way. So, I'll still watch the games if they're on TV. But, I have higher expectations for Georgia football than I do the Falcons. Let's just put it that way. Obviously the big team, Alabama played yesterday. It looked good. I didn't even watch the whole game. I was doing stuff during the game, and I had it recorded like on the TV, and obviously I knew that Alabama won, but I watched like the first half of it after the Georgia game just to kind of see what they looked like, and they looked pretty good. So it's probably going to end up being Alabama and hopefully Georgia in the championship again. So, that's like what? That's in December, so it's a little ways away. There's still a lot of season left, so we'll see what happens. But, Alabama looks good again. Clemson's going to be good, but, they have a young quarterback, and their line wasn't that good last night. They have good defense, but, again, also, they don't really play anybody that good. So, they probably should win out from here on out, to be honest. I don't really think there's anybody in the ACC that's better than Clemson. Let's put it that way. But, yeah, guys, I said this was going to be kind of all over the place. I didn't have a whole lot of topics to talk about. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Gavin Newsom, California governor, his recall election's coming up in a couple weeks. So, if you're in California, what you've seen in the past, keep in mind what you've seen in the past year and a half, 2 years almost now with the COVID restrictions. Keep that in mind when either you decide whether you want to vote and when you vote. Keep that in mind. So, that's coming up in a couple weeks. I don't know when the date is for it. I don't live in California, so there's really nothing I can do about it. But, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully he gets removed. But, at the end of the day, I guess we'll see what we see. But that is about going to wrap it up, guys. I really, there's really not a whole lot going on. Just football and trying to, live life as best as I can for as long as I can. And I don't know. I mean, it's just the same old stuff, really, to be honest, at this point. But, I guess it's okay. I can't complain. I forgot to do the question thing again. This is like the second week in a row. I'll remember next week. I'll put a reminder on my phone or something, and I'll do it. So we can add in that part, because I don't know if you guys like it, but I like doing it, so we're gonna do it. I just gotta remember, but we're gonna make it happen. Next week we'll have it for sure. Obviously, I'm sure we'll have a lot of news coming up. There's always at least something going on every week, so we'll have that. And next week NFL starts, and I know a lot of people, whether they want to admit it or not, regardless of the politics, a lot of people in this country like the NFL. So that captures the attention of a lot of people. So maybe we'll talk about some of that. I don't know. I don't really know what the matchups are exactly. I think the Cowboys play Tampa Bay on, I think that's Thursday night football this week, and I think maybe it's either this coming week or like maybe week 2, but I think the Ravens play the Raiders, which, the Raiders are they're not horrible, but they're not like a contender, so, but the Ravens are pretty good, so I think that'd be kind of an interesting game. I think that's this week. I think that's Monday night or Sunday night football. I can't remember if it's Monday night or Sunday night of this week or maybe week 2. I don't remember exactly, but either way it's coming up, I'm pretty sure. And I'm almost positive Cowboys and Tampa Bay is on Thursday night, like in a few days. So that's cool. The NFL's starting back up. I love football season, so I'll probably talk about that a lot during this year. Like this football season. But anyways, yeah, that's going to wrap it up. I've been rambling on for a while. We'll have new topics and questions for next week. So have a great week, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.